Everybody, today I'm gonna tell you about my short review of the movies called Fetih 1453. This movie is about history, the struggle of the Islamic Empire, seized the territory of Constantinople. In it, we also find love and family stories. All begin when the Prophet Muhammad said that Constantinople will fall into the hands of Islam with good leaders and good troops as well. On March 29, 1433 AD, in the city of Edirne, Turkey, the son of Sultan Murad II was born. He gave the name Mehmed or Muhammad al-Fatih as a tribute to the Prophet Muhammad. Sultan Mehmed was only 12 years old when he ascended the throne. This was due to Sultan Murad II, who was unable to resolve the Cold War between his advisors and rebels. Then he decided to surrender his throne to his son Mehmed after the death of his son Aladdin unexpectedly. However, Prime Minister Khalid Pasha brought Sultan Murad II back to power because of possible threat from other cross soldiers. When Sultan Murad II died, Sultan Mehmed was called back to Edirne to ascend the throne again. When Sultan Mehmed arrived at Edirne, he went straight to his father's body. Sultan Mehmed also swore in front of his father's body that he would conquer the city of Constantinople. News of the death of Sultan Murad II finally reached Emperor Constantine. Emperor Constantinople welcomed the death of Sultan Murad II, along with his researchers. However, one of the advisors of Emperor Notaras was even afraid because Sultan Mehmed studied army science, engineering, science, mathematics, and the language of Constantinople just to conquer the city of Constantinople. News of the death of Sultan Murad II also reached the king of the Popes and other Christian kingdoms. At the beginning of the second reign of Sultan Mehmed, many residents doubted his leadership, because before he had ousted from power and he appointed Halil Pasha as prime minister, the person who had deposed him from the throne. And how did the war happen? When he was holding a meeting with his advisors, a representative from the Emperor Constantinople sent a letter of peace and saw Prince Orhan as a candidate of the king and also increased allowance of 30,000 coins. He promised to reply to the letter and receive a peace treaty from the Emperor Constantinople. Sultan Mehmed also ordered Halil Pasha to send a peace treaty to King Roman Hungary, Poland, and the King of Serbia and the Pope. But this was not agreed by Zaganos Pasha. However, Sultan Mehmed explained it was the first step to conquer the city of Constantinople. One night, Sultan Mehmed dreams of meeting Usman. Usman advised that it was Sultan Mehmed who would make the Turkish Empire bigger and that he was the leader that had predicted to conquer the city of Constantinople. After getting dream, Sultan Mehmed immediately revealed his plan to his advisors to make 100 ships a year and three giant cannons. He also asked Halil Pasha to report on the status of weapons and ammunition from Janissary. In this movie also tells about era of adopted children from the famous cannon maker, namely Urban. Era sends a message to his father that Duke Notaras rejects his poorly designed but wants Urban to make cannon for him, but Urban refused. Emperor Constantinople continued to order Duke Notaras to order Urban to make him a large cannon because Sultan Mehmed began to build a fort of Bhs Castle to intercept all aid coming from the Black Sea to Constantinople and other Christian kingdoms. They planned to form a formidable army to undo Sultan Mehmed's intention, but Urban refused to make a cannon and he was threatened with death and was rescued by Hassan, a confidant of Sultan Mehmed. In return, Urban fulfilled Sultan Mehmed's request to make a giant cannon that has never existed in history. In 1452, the Genoese merchant ship was sunk by Sultan Mehmed's forces at Bogas Castle. This enraged the Genoese emperor and sent eight troops to Constantinople, led by Giustiniani by sea, assisted by the Pope to help counter attacks from Sultan Mehmed's army. Before leaving for the battlefield, Sultan Mehmed wrote a letter to his wife and offered prayers and asked his wife and his son for their blessings. The first siege was carried out by Sultan Mehmed on Friday, 6 April 1553 AD with 250,000 soldiers. Before carrying out the attack, Sultan Mehmed gave the choice to the Emperor Constantinople whether to surrender or war. Emperor Constantinople, with his arrogance, chose war. The war was inevitable. On the same day, the basilica cannon was first used and made a gap in the walls of Constantinople, but the gap was successfully closed by Constantinople's troops. The first day's battle was won by Constantinople. After 5 days of the first attack, Sultan Mehmed ordered the chief digger Mustafa to make a tunnel, but this was discovered by Constantinople's troops. After 12 days of the first attack, Sultan Mehmed called Hassan to carry out the second attack at the night. This attack also failed and almost killed Hassan in his first attack. On day 40, there were 38 ships for Constantinople that made it through the armies of Sultan Mehmed. Amid the frustration of Sultan Mehmed, his teacher Said Agung Samseddin arrived. Said Samseddin invited Sultan Mehmed to visit the tomb of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, located near the wall of Constantinople. After that, Sultan Mehmed found a very extraordinary strategy in the weakest place of Constantinople. The strategy was never discovered by Constantinople and made Constantinople panic. Eventually, the wall of Constantinople was broken down so that Sultan Mehmed's troops were free to break in. In the story, there is a heroic story carried out by Hassan who succeeded in killing Giustiniani, the elite Roman army who helped Constantinople. Here also there is a heroic scene of raising the flag, and he left Era and his child who were conquered by Era. Emperor Constantinople is said to have died in battle. From then on, the territory of Constantinople was officially reposed by Muslims. Then Sultan also gave religious freedom to the people of Constantinople. That's it. Thank you.